Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 353. Today what I did, overtook my niece's chalkboard and her chair, so we can talk about interval training. Now, we're just going to go over the basics of interval training because I think it plays such a great role in functional performance and functional activities. When we think about interval training, the goal is obviously pretty simple. We want to increase respiratory strength or our cardiorespiratory system, right? However, more specifically, we care so much about increasing a higher level of intensity or our ability to manipulate or our ability to exercise within that red line or tack line zone. See, if we think about this in relationship to a car could redline for a certain period of time before the engine blows. Our body doesn't work the same exact way. It can redline for a certain period of time until we ultimately fatigue. We can't just blow up ourselves like we blow up an engine, right, in a car. But what will happen is our body just will fatigue so much that we can't maintain that same level of intensity. It's why we say that time has an inverse relationship to intensity. The longer the activity level, the less the intensity is. It doesn't mean that it feels different, okay? It just means that our output is literally less. A marathoner cannot run as fast as a sprinter. It just doesn't happen. The sprint itself is a very, very high level of intensity for a very, very short period of time. The marathon, although it might be an intense activity, it's still, the output is still less in comparison. So hopefully that makes sense. When we think about this now, when we put it and we talk about interval length, okay, this has been shown anywhere as low as 5 to 10 seconds, but generally we do intervals in 20 seconds to 60 second bouts, okay? And like I said, the higher, the closer this is to 60, the less the intensity level is going to be, right? And the inverse goes as well. The lower it is, or the higher the intensity, the closer this will be to 20. That's how we kind of find that marriage, so to speak. Now, the second thing that we should ask or that we should think about is, okay, so this is the interval on time, but what about the interval off time, okay? It's really simple. When we're designing this, we want to take the minimum amount of time that allows us to repeat that same level of intensity. And I say this because it brings me down to the last part, and that's the pitfalls. The things that we generally do wrong when we do interval training is we don't pick achievable intensity levels. Let me give you an example of doing running, right? So say 200-meter sprints. If I was going to pick a level of intensity, let's say I wanted to do 10 repeats at 30 seconds. If by the end of this, if my interval, my rest time is so minimal that I can't maintain that, so at the end of it I'm running 45-second 200s, I missed my mark. I've made the error of not keeping that same level of intensity, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to exercise within that high level of intensity zone for short periods of time, and then accumulate those blocks to make the wall, right? So little blocks, little bricks of high level intensity, and I can put them together to get my wall of athletic endurance. So hopefully that kind of screens out the goals of interval training. If you check on the blog today, I'm going to give you a couple more examples, so make sure you check out my post. Until then, guys, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.